Welcome back to Adri's Farmhouse Kitchen. Today we are doing a few kitchen projects. Number one, we're going to flavor our homemade yogurt. What's my weekly job? I do make yogurt once a week from our goat's milk. Super easy. I usually use 1.5 liter raw goat's milk with my leftover batch of yogurt from the fridge what I've made the previous week, about a cup full. Give it a good mix and I put it in an instant pot. Within 8 hours I've got an amazing yogurt. I usually leave it, I've done this yesterday, I left it overnight in the fridge, and now look how lovely and thick this is. I'll show you in a minute. And today this is our amazing goat's yogurt, but we're going to flavor it with all these goodies as a breakfast. Next job, I've got still quite a bit of an eggs coming in, although the girls are now slowing down with these lovely farm fresh eggs. I'm just going to talk about storage and we're just going to put it away for the upcoming months. Also, I would like to start deshelling these lovely dried beans what we've collected not long ago. They are now lovely dry. They're ready to go in jars for the winter. So this is going to be our next project. And one more. The next couple of months, probably next month, we're going to make together some hand cream, lip balm, and I have done a few things in prior. This has now been sitting in my utility kitchen cupboard for quite a few weeks, and these are some dried flowers in a carrier oil, and they are now ready to sieve. So we're going to sieve this. This one is alder in grapeseed oil, and also we've got rose in grapeseed oil, needs to be sieved, and then we've got chamomile in grapeseed oil. So we sieve this, put it back in this jar, and that oil, it's got all the lovely benefits from the chamomile, from the rose and the elderflower, and that's going to be one of our ingredients to make our homemade cream and hand cream, face cream, balm, lip balm, whatever we're going to make with it. So if you're interested, you are welcome in my kitchen. Let's start with the yogurt. Okay, so the first thing, I've got all these little jars in here. It usually fills about these 9 jars for us. I'm just going to take the lids off and let's go through the ingredients, what we are going to use today. I'm going to use oats. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of oats to each of these little jar, and 1 tablespoon of this mixed seed, linseed, sunflower heart and pumpkin seed. And I've also got some crushed pistachio. We're going to put maybe half a teaspoon of that as well. And then we're going to use our raw honey from our apiary, and then the yogurt. I'm going to mix it in a jug, whisk it nicely together, and we're going to pour over our lovely, rest of the ingredients, what I've just said. Give it a good mix, lids on, and to the fridge. And from tomorrow morning, we've got an amazing breakfast. So let's do it. Right, let's start with the oats. So it's super easy. It only takes, literally a few minutes to just load these little jam jars with all of these lovely ingredients. Okay, so that's done. Our next ingredients, we're gonna need a teaspoon, a teaspoon or half a tablespoon, or tablespoon, let's see. think, let's put half a tablespoon. Okay, so you've got all the nuts in. Next, I'm going to add some crushed pistachio, half a teaspoon to each jar. And for sweetness, we're gonna put the honey right into the yogurt and just pour this over. And we have got, I absolutely love this for breakfast or any time of the day, lunch, you know. Fantastic. Okay. I always like to leave a little bit leftover for next week. So about a cup or two yogurt, just plain yogurt. So that's gonna be our culture for next week's yogurt making. Okay. And another thing, what I like doing every couple of weeks, well, this is enough to make a new batch. 2, I use this little strainer and I put, or usually fill it up. It's about 2 to 3 cups full we can put in there. And I make sour cream. So if I just leave the yogurt sour, it's like a sour yogurt, and then we use it as sour cream. I don't need a full load, so that is enough, and I'll just keep this in a fridge. So that's done. It's got yogurt on it, so I know what it is. And these two can go to the fridge. Okay, now I'm going to transfer the rest to this measuring jug. Look how lovely this yogurt is now. Look at jelly. It's gonna be more liquidy when I'm going to put the honey in it. It's up to you. You don't like it too sweet, but you want just a little bit of a flavor. So let's see how much we ended up with now. We've got less what we usually have. We've got 1 litre to work with today and to 1 litre of yogurt. Let's start with half a cup and then we're going to have a taste test. Give it a very good mix and let's see if we're gonna need another half a cup of honey. Just going to mix real well the honey with the yogurt. Let's have a taste test. If it's sweet enough for our liking. Perfect. Half a cup is enough. And I'm just gonna fill the jars. And our job is done. Probably we won't fill all jars, but never mind. I just keep those jars what is ready for next week. Okay, it made 6 jars, 1 litre yogurt. I give it a good mix. And I'm just going to put the lid on and this can now go to the fridge. It lasts up to a week, but it never lasts that long in our house. First job, it's thick. Next, we are going to box up these lovely eggs. I usually go upside down, the pointy end down, when I box up these eggs. And I never wash those eggs because as soon as we wash it, the pore opens and we let the bacteria from the air expose through those pores and can spoil our eggs faster. So it's not gonna spoil it straight away, but it will definitely last weeks and weeks. this way when I'm not washing them. I know these going for storage, so I'm going to put them in a fridge, although I don't store the eggs in a fridge, fresh eggs, if I'm gonna use them up the next upcoming weeks. But these one will probably last longer in my fridge, and when the girls decide to stop playing, gonna have a rest, I can still access farm fresh eggs from our fridge. These are huge eggs, can't even close this box. So there are several methods how I usually store eggs. So as soon as I collect the eggs, you know, I just leave it out on the kitchen counter up to a week or so, and I'm just use it daily in cooking, eating, whatever I need it. If I know it's for weeks, talk about weeks, then I usually this way, I store it in a fridge. There are also longer term storage we can do, so you can freeze eggs. I used to do it, so just crack it, you know, when you use when you do a scrambled egg. Oh, this one is broke, so I need to be careful with this one, needs to be used up. And you can put it in plastic bags, molds, those silicone molds or anything, and that will last. And then when you take it out, you can still scramble it, or I usually bake with it. I also, these are huge, these eggs, freeze dry eggs as well, and it all depends, you know, in the Myla bags they can last for you through the winter. Even longer if it's done the right way. And you can also water glass eggs. I still haven't done it. I actually don't know if it's still good. I want to do it with you. When we go to the pantry, and we can actually have a look, the water glass eggs in the outside pantry, they are over a year old. And so, but that's another way for long term, up to 8 months, you know, plus, you can preserve it that way as well. Another preservation method what I really like is to make pasta with it, you know. That's one of the best, really. Okay, so I think this is gonna be good. So I'm gonna do with it, I'm just going to write on the top the date when today's date basically. These are huge, I can't close these. So I'm just gonna put, what day is today? Is 23rd of September, but I'm just probably gonna put September 20. I'll put 24, but if I just put September 24 or 09/24, so I know when we packed these boxes. And just like that, we have got our eggs in storage. These are so large, so I need to be careful. Got elastic band over because I can't close them. And I'm just going to put them to the fridge. Okay, just like that, we are on our third job. So I'm going to start with an elderflower in grapeseed oil. I have got a glass jug, a sieve, and like a cheesecloth. So I'm going to put this over the sieve, and literally we're just going to pour the content over. We would like to catch those flowers and keep the oil. What I'm gonna do, I'm just going to squeeze as much oil out of this as possible so we don't waste any. Smells good. And I'm just going to compost. I've got the compost bin here next to me. I'm just going to compost the rest and put this back to do our next lot. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wipe this out. I'm not going to wash it because I don't want any water in our oil. Just wipe this out with kitchen towel, compost it and pour the oil back to the jug because it's already labeled. So I know and I need to do one less job. If I would have used another jar, you know, I would have to wash this and then have to write on the other. So this is just an easier way. The few little flowers stays in there, that's not a big deal. Just, well, maybe they know the most of it out. Okay. And just pour this back. I honestly don't mind reusing this jug as well. There's a tiny bit of leftover in that from the elderflower. Smells gorgeous. Okay, first down, let's do the rose next. Rose, all 3 flower is in grapeseed oil. Oh, smells lovely. Okay, so we're just going to do the same with this as well. This one nearly all came out. Just wipe this out, wipe those few petals out and just squeeze out as much of this lovely oil as possible. Cannot wait to make all these cosmetic products, you know, all the cream and stuff, and just pour it right back. And the last one is going to be chamomile in grapeseed oil. The lid back on. This lovely colour. Chamomile. Oh, so good. Wipe this out. It doesn't need to be 100%. Squeeze it out. And our next job is nearly done as well. With chamomile I also make different things. Steam to clear out the airways as a tea and put towel over your head in a bowl, or as a tea as itself, just to drink it on its own, or with other ingredients, a bit of honey. Look what a beautiful color this is, lovely yellow. And all done. I'm just tidy up my mess and we're on to our next job. And we are on our last job. We're going to deal with these lovely beans, dried beans. Most of these are runner beans. I think I prefer to dry it and eat it in soups and stews. So what I do, I'm just going to open these up in this glass bowl, and they are so pretty. They've got this purple or mauvey color and dark, and some of them are white. I think I've sown or we grew, I think 3 different varieties of runner beans, 2 for sure, I think 3 this year. So yeah, it looks like some of them got white beans. runner bean. So I put some butter beans in here, but they are large white beans, but they're a lot larger. Yeah, this is definitely a runner bean and it's lovely white. So I think I'm gonna keep this together because they're same size. And this is the butter bean. And then we can keep that separate. We'll probably have a different cooking time, but they are larger. And I've also got another one. These ones are climbers. Just wipe this out, it's a little bit still wet. And I have got 3 different varieties of climbing beans, but this one is white. The French dwarf beans, this is I think actually. Yeah, these are the French dwarf beans. Remember we harvested together and I was saying like I would like to preserve it as like a baked beans. So you can pressure can it. Tomato sauce or barbecue sauce. But yeah, so we've got quite a few different varieties of beans in here. Oh, this is runner beans. So this will keep me busy for a bit. There is one thing can happen now, they are really dry. I can store it like that, but there is a slight chance that might have some bug larvae in them and that can spoil it. So what I usually do, I'm gonna lay them out on a baking tray with some parchment paper and I'm gonna flash freeze it quickly so if there is any unwanted visitors or larvae or anything in there that would destroy it. And then I leave it out again to dry it completely and then we can put it in jars and that would last that way for a long time. And over the winter, even until next spring, summer, until we have fresh beans again, these are quite large, so I'm going to put them here. We can, you know, use it up. We're going to cook with this together. Okay, it's all done. Took me about a good half an hour to deshell all these lovely beans, and it's about 5 cups altogether with all these lovely different varieties of beans. So what I'm gonna do now, I am just going to put them in jars for now, and tomorrow I'm going to take them out to the freezer, flash freeze it and deal with it afterwards. So dry it again, put them back in the jars and we're going to vacuum seal it. So all the job's done. I don't need to cook today because we're going to have the lovely borscht soup I've made yesterday and the marinated beef, roast beef. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today and see you very soon. Bye friends!